so glad you decided to join us today for our back to school special. You're going to learn a lot, you're going to laugh a lot, and you're going to enjoy seeing your friends share their thoughts on starting the year out right. So let's do that and set your sails in the right direction with Pirate Penelope and friends. Let's start out with our motto. A person's
true character is determined by the promises he keeps, the choices he makes, the actions he takes.
Pirate Penelope, isn't today a great day? We have two very special guests with us. My daughter Josie, who is 9, and my other daughter Sophie, who is 5. And do you know what else? They love art too. People always ask me, Pirate Chris, is it true? Are you really an artist? And I say, yes, of course it's true, because I love to draw and I love to paint, and I've been doing it for years. As a matter of fact, ever since I was a little boy. But the truth is, everyone is an artist. Think about it. Do you like to draw? Do you like to dance? Do you like to sing or play an instrument? Have you ever written a story or taken photographs? Do you make jewelry at home, like bracelets or necklaces? Oh my gosh, there are so many examples of being an artist that I could go on and on. But the most important thing to remember, that no matter what kind of an artist you are, is that you need to practice. And you will find that art becomes easier and more enjoyable as time goes on. So friends, here we go. Today we're going to show you some simple steps on how to make your own sea creature. My girls and I are going to trace certain objects that we have found around our house and that you can find around yours to make a fish. Girls, are you ready to help me out today?
Yes, Dad.
All right, great. Josie and Sophie, today I want to draw a fish, and I need something that's round or circular. Do we have anything laying around that I could trace that is round or circular?
How about this plate, Dad?
This is a great plate. For you at home, you can use any kind of plate that you find. It could be a paper plate or a plastic plate like this one. The reason why I'm going to trace a plate is because drawing a perfect circle is sometimes very hard to do. But tracing a circle like this plate can be very easy. I'm going to hold the plate very still on my paper, and I'm just going to start at the top and trace my circle. If I accidentally move my plate, I'm just going to move it back to right where I had it, and then finish my circle. Before I put my plate away, I'm going to draw the gills for our fish. So I'm going to take my plate and I'm going to scoot it to this side of the fish. And when I draw the gills of this fish, I'm not going to start at the very top of this line, but I'm going to start just below it and trace my plate along this edge, and then I'm going to stop right there. It doesn't look like a fish yet, but I think it will very soon. Josie and Sophie, what do you think I should draw next for this fish?
How about an eye, Dad?
An eye. What do you have that I could trace that could be used for an eye?
How about this telescope? Thank you.
Ah, my trusty telescope. Now, if you don't have a telescope at home, that's okay, because we're not going to trace the telescope, but we're going to trace this circle on either end. And I think you're right. I think this will make a very good eye. I am going to hold my telescope against the fish's body like this. And again, just like before, I'm going to very carefully trace around the bottom of my telescope to make this fish's eye. Whether you're a fish or a human being or even any animal in the animal kingdom, we want to draw the pupil. And I'm just going to draw that in using a technique called freehand. So to draw this fish's pupil, I'm going to draw an oval like this, and I'm going to begin to fill it in. When I draw pupils, I always leave a little white circle somewhere in the fish's eye. Now, if your little white circle doesn't look exactly like mine, that's okay, because every eye is different. All right, girls, this doesn't quite look like a fish yet. What do you think I should draw next?
Dad, about the bottom fin, Dad?
The bottom fin. Okay, what have you found that we can use to trace to draw this bottom fin?
How about the spoon, Dad?
This wooden spoon would be perfect, Sophie. I'm not going to trace this entire wooden spoon, but this spoon has a very nice edge right here. And I think she's right. If I lay my spoon maybe like this on my paper, I think it'll make a very nice bottom fin. I'm going to start my marker right here at the bottom of my fish's belly. Carefully trace all around the bottom of my spoon. Remember, if the spoon moves, that's okay. I'm just going to keep drawing nice and slowly, and if I have to stop, I'll stop. All right, it's starting to come along. Josie, what do you think I should draw next for this fish?
How about the scales?
Great, that's a good idea. What should I use to trace the scales?
How about this soup spoon?
Oh, another spoon. This spoon's a little bit different, and it has a different kind of an edge on it. And I think also this will make a very good scale. I think, Josie, I'm going to hold the soup spoon like this. And it's important when I start to trace this spoon that I only trace this one edge. I'm going to move my spoon along the fish, up and down. And again, it's important that I don't spin or move my spoon like this. I think it'll look more realistic if I hold the spoon like this. When you're at home, you can draw as many scales as you want. And you can draw big scales like this. You can draw little scales like this. Again, this is your fish, and you can draw it any way you want. And draw just a few more scales, and I'll be done. Josie and Sophie, this is beginning to look a lot more like a fish. What do you think I should draw next?
How about the bottom tail, Dad?
The back tail? That's a great idea. And what have you found? This looks like a fake piece of pizza, but it's an excellent triangle, and I think also that it'll make an excellent tail fin. If I put the triangle like this and hold it still against my paper, we will get a very nice back fin. Thank you, Sophie. At any point during my drawing, I may decide to add some certain details that I like. For instance, some fish have these little lines in their fins, and I might decide to add those now or later. I'll add a couple lines in this back fin too. This fish is still missing a couple of things, Josie. What should I draw next?
You should draw the lips so we can go bubbles.
Ooh, the lips. What do you have that I could trace to draw these lips?
How about the story?
It looks like Josie has found this plastic piece of silverware. And this also is an excellent thing to trace because it has a very unique edge here. It doesn't look like lips now. But let's see what happens after I begin to trace. I think I should trace it like that. Using this piece, I'm going to flip it upside down and draw the bottom set of lips. Again, it's not important if you have a piece of silverware like this at your house that you can trace, but it's really nice to find something that has unique edges. And again, this has a very unique edge. Good find, Josie. Sophie, I think we should draw maybe one more thing to make this fish look complete.
Draw the top fin, Dad.
Drawing the top fin. We're coming near the end of our drawing, and what we've used today are several things that we have found around our house. This is a small little pot, and I think again it has a very nice circular edge that I can place on my fish. Placing it up here would be too high, but if I placed it halfway down, it would make a very nice top fin. Again, I'm going to trace very slowly and carefully around this can. Thank you, Sophie. At any point along, I can choose to add certain details to my fish to make it my own. I might add a couple more lines. And because this fish is underwater, I maybe should add a couple of bubbles. Well, friends, we hope you've had as much fun today as we have. Now that you're on your own, we would like you to add some lines and some color and even add a name to your fish. Earlier, I drew a fish. And as you can see, I added some color. I added some additional lines. I made this a girl fish, and I added some lines up here. I decided to color my bubbles in, but you know what, Josie and Sophie? I still haven't figured out a name for our fish.
How about Bubbles?
I think Bubbles is a great name. Thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time on the SS Integrity.
She and friends, they come aboard, sing and join the fun. Raise the anchor and fly the flag. Ahoy, we say, and start our day. Reach your mate with a secret chick and we will sail along. Reach your mate with a secret chick and we will sail along. Come aboard and meet the crew. Long John Slippers and Beatrice too. Always learning as we go, while our friendships grow. Raise the anchor and fly the flag. Ahoy, we say, is to start our day. Reach your mate with a secret chick and we will sail along. Reach your mate with a secret chick